Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to another monthly installment of a HubSpot-focused digital workshop put on by Flawless Inbound. We're in March 2021 right now, so things this year seems to be flying by, which I can't really say the same for 2020. So the March 2020 webinar versus this one was a lot different in tone and in theme. But we're coming into this year with a great outlook showing kind of the ins and outs today of video sales marketing within HubSpot. And we're fortunate enough that this is actually going to be powered by one of our other partners today, Vidyard, and we'll get to that in a second. So before getting into the bulk of the presentation here, we do always want to start with this slide here. And if you've been with us before, you've probably seen it before. In that we as a company, Flawless Inbound, we've been fortunate enough to work with 120 plus organizations over the years, varying in different industries. And what we've learned is while the platform, the technology is important, the other factor that is equally as important is the partner for that journey. And digital transformation, we use that keyword journey because digital transformation is not a final destination. It is something that's ongoing. Technology, market demands, always evolving, and you always want to have a leg up over your competition, as well to market or sell to your desired audience, depending on what they demand. So we're finding that the partner in that journey, there needs to be a culture match, a partner that understands your business objectives, priorities, any challenges you may have, and also someone who can identify maybe any gaps that exist between your alignment strategy between departments. So getting into from that slide onto the next one, we have been very fortunate over the years to work with a wide range of organizations, from construction to wholesale distribution, to manufacturing, to logistics, IT, you name it. And we have learned something different and unique from all these organizations that has helped us develop our playbooks over the years. So we just want to showcase our clients. In fact, I actually noticed someone on the call from one of these organizations. So thank you for joining us today, and hope you enjoy this presentation. Getting into our presenters, there's three of us today, and it's not just me, but if you don't know me, my name is Max. I am an inbound growth consultant for Flawless Inbound, based out of Edmonton, Alberta, where we're headquartered. And I want to introduce my other panelists today. So with us here, he's an outsider, actually. He's not a Flawless Inbound employee, but we love him as if he is one. We have from Vidyard, Ali, who's a partnerships manager. Ali, do you want to just introduce yourself and say hi to everyone?
Yeah, hi everybody. Very nice to meet you. Ali Hamoud here from Vidyard on the partnerships team. Visiting you guys today and kind of an outsider looking in. I'm very excited to be speaking to you guys a little bit more about video selling and video marketing. But most importantly, this is a great opportunity for me to announce just how happy we are to be partnered with Flawless Inbound, understanding how important growth is and really giving the most cutting edge solutions to all their clients. So we're very excited to be partnered.
And thanks, Ali. And secondly, on this call with us is someone who needs no introduction, but I'm going to get him to introduce himself anyways, our Chief Revenue Officer, Seher.
Thank you so much, Max. And Ali, thank you so much for giving us this time today. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone for joining today. This will be a very engaging session, strategically, because as Flawless Inbound, we decided to partner with Vidyard. And this is a strategic partnership because of now the condition, how to sell through distance. And video is the only way for us to do that. And we felt that that will be of great value to all our audience today and in the future. The second thing is, in Flawless Inbound, we believe that we always need to come with new technology and new platform so that each now and then we add more value in our engagement with the client. And it was clearly that video is changing the way how we work, live, play, and learn. And that's why we decided to partner with Vidyard as our video engine, and also for any of our clients who already have HubSpot as their CRM and marketing automation platform. We believe this can be of great value to you, and especially to your sales team during those times and in the next kind of the future that we're stepping into. So I'm really looking forward to what Ali will be presenting today. Back to you, Max.
Awesome. Thanks, Seher. So getting into just the agenda for today's workshop. We're in the midst of our introduction here, but I'm going to be pretty soon passing it over to Ali, who's going to go over video selling in a remote world. And he's going to continue into a few other subjects too, or topics, I should say, including using video and prospecting, top templates for video prospecting, best practices for video selling. Then we're going to get into video hubs. We're going to give you a couple of examples of that. And we're going to have as always, a Q&A at the end. But please keep in mind, if you do have a question on one of the slides that we're on or one of the topics that we're presenting, feel free to ask it in the Q&A. We're going to be monitoring that, especially Seher in particular. And if it's topical and relevant to what we're talking about, we're more than happy to answer it on the fly here for you. So without further ado, first, we have a huge announcement before I pass it over to Ali, and that is, as of March this year, we hit Diamond Partner status. This is something we're extremely proud of an organization. We did announce it on our social media and in our newsletter, but for the workshop audience today, we did want to make an announcement here as well. Now, Seher told me to make this slide, and he said, Max, we want to tell everyone that we're a Diamond Partner now, and the highest reviewed Diamond Partner in all of Canada. But please be subtle and respectful with it, and dial it back a little bit. So I did. I didn't want to. I usually would have went way further than this, but I wanted to be. I wanted to keep it classy here. So. Yeah, this is the best I could do. And Seher, I'm really looking forward to our diamond encrusted vests and mask here to be part of the new Flawless Inbound merch for 2021. So just waiting for mine in the mail. Yeah,
you're reading my mind, Max. Thank you so much for exactly following what I asked you for. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And just so you know, guys, these are N95 certified, so you won't catch me out in public without my diamond encrusted face mask. So without further ado, let's get into why you guys are actually here and get into video selling in a remote world. And I'm going to pass it over to Ali, who's going to take it from here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Max, so much. I appreciate it. I guess just to start off, the salesman in me just started thinking, if I were trying to prospect into Flawless Inbound at this particular moment, you guys got diamond status, 100% I'd be making you a video. Like I said, congrats on diamond status. You would have seen it. Probably wouldn't be as glitterful, but nonetheless, you'd probably take a look at that and be like, this guy took some time to learn a little bit about me before he reached out. But yeah, so I think if you can go to the next slide there.
Yep.
We're going to talk a little bit today about why and how video. So to begin, if you take a look at this chart here, there's a lot of data here sitting, and you can take a look, and it says 2 times emails received, and this is from the beginning of COVID up until now, based on a HubSpot report. Now, this means a couple of different things. This means the panic button hit as soon as COVID struck, and sales managers were going, everyone's at home now. There's a little bit of uncertainty. We need you to increase the amount of volume. You got to send out more emails. You got to reach out to more prospects so we can ensure that we hit our pipeline and revenue targets. Well, what happened that synonymously to that, or in tandem, there's actually a 30% decrease in response rates. So that told us a couple of things. That told us that just doing more of the same thing isn't cutting it, especially in this new remote selling world. So if you go to the next slide. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an understanding of what Vidyard is in particular. So we're a software, and Vidyard is basically an all-in-one video platform that's built for business. So what I mean by that is anything encompassing creating a video-enabled business, that's what Vidyard solves for. So easy screen recording and video creation, hosting and managing, personalization of videos, But having this all work into your tech ecosystem, such as like a HubSpot in particular, or Salesforce, or anything of that magnitude. Now, in terms of enterprise level features, you're looking at anything in terms of branding, making sure that you're in control of how these videos are created, calls to actions, which we'll get into very shortly. Thank you, Max. So with the shift to digital from COVID-19, video has emerged as the predominant channel for interacting and closing sales with business-to-business customers. Now, this is a report coming from McKinsey. And what they actually came out just recently with is that organizations now more than ever are looking to invest in platforms that enable users to create content, as that is the way that we live, work, play, and learn. So you can go into the next one, Max. So I just wanted to reach out about a couple of benefits of using video and prospecting. So basically what you're gonna enable your sales reps to do is have personal, human, authentic connections. So if you take a look at just like a regular text-based email, it's pretty much all the same. Now, when you want to take a look at leveraging your personality and body language, we'll go over what that even looks like in terms of prospecting and reaching out to people. You have the opportunity to use visuals. So you have your eyes, you have your ears, that taps into way more senses and it grabs people's attention. Now, the demonstrating the effort and commitment is also one key component, especially when it comes down to, let's say, the example of how I used it earlier, where someone goes diamond, for instance, there's an event, or maybe you see them comment on something, to be able to demonstrate that you put the effort and commitment to personalize that message to them. If you go to the next slide, please, Max. So I want to give you guys just a breadth of what you could do with video past prospecting and trying to open doors with new people. So if you look on the left there, you'll notice it. You have prospecting, setting agendas in advance, introductions, handoffs to the right people. My favorites, the micro demos, the proposal walkthroughs. You can even make your email signatures video. The thank you notes and recaps and event invitations are also pretty impactful. My absolute favorite, actually, I'm going to go back on my word, is the re-engaging the old customers. We've had a couple of customers that have been looking at out-of-the-box ways to open up that opportunities. So what they did is they decided to just send a video, and a lot of them end up re-engaging those conversations that they once thought was never going to become something to talk about with their customers, and then sharing resources. So taking a look at a few of these examples, these thumbnails are particular thumbnails that you'll basically see when you receive an email like this in your inbox. So the first one you'll see is like a prospecting selfie style intro with a whiteboard. Like I had mentioned, putting somebody's name is a really good way to be personalized and shows that effort. The second one is a LinkedIn profile video. Absolutely immaculate, especially when you're first reaching out to someone. If you have a social sales cadence where you're using social selling, being able to send one of these videos in a personal private message or direct message works wonders. And I would say about 75% of my total pipeline when I was on the business development team came through LinkedIn. Now, the account meeting agenda, this is good for before a meeting, but I think after a meeting, because you know what happens is typically when you go to a sales meeting, there's typically, I think they say anywhere between 4 to 6 decision makers that need to be a part of a decision before they move forward. Now, you're not going to get the opportunity to speak to every single one of those decision makers. However, if you're able to create them a summary video and send them off a video with everything that you learned, what happens is you can actually start understanding who's watching, how long they're watching for, which helps a lot. And then the proposal walkthrough. You just go to the next one, Max. So I was going to take you guys through a quick demo of how to create a video, how to share a video, and how to track a video. So if you don't mind, Max, I'm just going to share my screen to show you guys how easy this is. Wonderful. So take a look at somebody's inbox. I'm not the most important person in the world. Let's be real here. All right. I'm not a decision maker of a Fortune 500 company. I'm not a sales manager. However, look at what my inbox looks like. I got 900 emails here. Most of them I don't even look at. Some of them I skim over. If they don't catch my attention within a few seconds, I'm typically just not answering. But don't worry, Sahar and Max, I'll always answer your emails, no problem. But when I'm a salesperson and I know that this is happening in the people that I'm reaching out to's inbox, I got to find a way to be different and to communicate with them the way that they want to be communicated to. So let's put myself in the position of a salesperson. If I want to make a video, you have a few different options. We have a Google Chrome extension, we have an Outlook extension, and very importantly, we have an desktop application. So no matter where you are, what you're doing on your computer, you can easily create videos. So if I'm reaching out to Sahir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick intro. In the intro, I want to say that I'm sending him a video, especially if it's a personalized one. You want to keep it very concise in terms of how many sentences you have in there, because you want to direct them to click play on your video. But nonetheless, if I got my first two sentences, and especially if it's already a template and something I know that works repeatably, all I got to do is create my video. So click on the Google Chrome extension, Outlook extension, or desktop app. Notice I have three options. I have a selfie style camera, really, really good for personalization. At the end of the day, to see your name, you're going to click on it. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say, and it's very true. You have the opportunity to screen share, and then you have your screen plus camera. Screen plus camera is really nice because anywhere you are, whether it's on a proposal, whether it's on, let's say, a PowerPoint presentation, case testimonial, anything along those lines, you'll be able to see your face, hear your voice, and still go over the content. So let's say I know exactly what I'm going to say. Let's say I'm going to do the screen share. All I got to do is hit start recording. Counts you down. You have the opportunity to catch your breath, get whatever you need done. Next thing you know, you're doing your thing. Now, think about everything that I can say, and sometimes I speak a little too fast. Everything that I can say in 30 seconds to a minute, if I were to type that out via text, that would be unreadable. However, if I were to be able to do that in a concise video where I got all my point across, that's when you're going to start seeing impact and being able to actually come across with something that needs to be said to a consumer. So I'm just going to hit stop here. You have the opportunity to stop. You can restart it, pause it. If you need to catch your breath and get your script back down, easy to do that. You can also draw as well. So if you're going over a proposal, want to go over something, you can easily do that too. So
Ali, I have a couple of questions for you.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you some questions? This is actually great what you're showing right now, because as Flawless and Bound, in our client database, we have a lot of people, a lot of clients who are in manufacturing, warehouse distribution, construction, real estate, and other things. And now, because we're selling through distance, what I'm seeing with this tool that you're showing is that you can actually literally open a PowerPoint slide or showcase something, and it's like in 1 or 2 minutes to be able to do that. Let's say if I'm selling heavy manufacturing or things like that, and I can actually kind of showcase and move around, and it takes only 1 or 2 minutes, and people can be focused on that. Is that correct? Like, this is how you see it happening?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the really cool thing, so I've seen a couple of use cases for this in manufacturing. One really good one is invoicing. Like to go over an invoice after somebody's purchased something. It's a huge step. The person just bought product off you. For you to take them every step of the way and to review it and to show that you're there with them means the world to a purchaser. Really good for return business. They actually took the time to go over my invoice with me after they sent it. They didn't just send me an invoice with my product. That stuff makes the world of a difference in terms of a relationship.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So just to kind of get into what it looks like when you're done, you hit stop and it brings you to an editing page. So what this editing page looks like, I have it pre-canned over here, is really quickly, you want to be able to put a title and you want to be able to put a call to action on it. So I'm going to just stop this real quick. There we go. So let's say we go Sahir plus Ali invoice or whatever it might be. This is going to end up showing up on the branded sharing page that I'll be showing very briefly. You'll notice you'll have other options as well. You can change the thumbnail to an animated thumbnail, a lot more captivating. On some of the higher tiers or some of the paid packages, you can do auto captioning, very good for accessibility, very good for SEO if you're going to be embedding some of these videos that you create on your website. And you're also able to include calls to actions on the end of these videos, very, very simply. So what is a branded sharing page and where does this all show up? Well, if I'm a salesperson and I'm done my video, I've edited it, inside of Outlook, inside of Gmail, wherever you're sending emails from, even HubSpot, you're going to have access to all your videos. So I can actually choose my video after I'm done, insert it, and it's over. And that's it. I've now created a video, I've differentiated myself, and I've communicated more effectively with a buyer. Now, even to take it one step further, if you're a manufacturing company, let's take for example, and you got 5 core products that you have amazing demonstration videos on, to have your marketing team able to put those videos into folders based on those products that maybe have unified or controlled calls to actions that go out to a spec sheet. or go out straight to a cart if you're more e-commerce driven. You can do all that and you can have marketing and sales alignment. The one thing that people realize is like salespeople want to get what they need done quickly. So if you put this all in front of them and you get them enabled, they're sure to use it, especially if they build the right habits, which I got to applaud Flawless Inbound for building out some of these strategies and showing businesses how to do that. But you're also able to create playlists. So it could be my intro video, plus it could be a product tour. That helps a lot as well. So branded sharing page, someone clicks on it, they're ready to watch, takes you to a page like this. I want you to imagine your business's logo here on the top left corner. I want you to imagine this looking and feeling like your business's website. It's critical because if I come to watch a video as a buyer, let's say it's a minute long, great, I watched it. I'm not yet ready to make a purchase or speak to a salesperson. You want them frictionlessly to be able to go to your website, which would be shown right here, do their research, and then come back and book a meeting. They don't want to be searching for the name of your company through the video. They don't want to be doing any of that. A few clicks away and they want to get to where they need. Now, when I mentioned booking a meeting in your calendar, this is where huge conversion rates come into play. So as you're watching one of these videos and it comes to an end, we are firm believers that after a communication, you need to call to action. There's got to be something. So what you can do is you can create these calls to actions like reaching out to somebody. You can put your calendar invite, which is what I do. That's how I book meetings. You can even have downloads to ebooks or any sort of visual piece of collateral. So really, really good on that front as well. Now we've seen HubSpot, for instance, increase the response rates by about 20%, which is incredible and one of the best use cases we've seen. So that's definitely something that we can always take a look at together too, if anyone ever would want to. So,
and Ali, can I add to what you're saying? So what we have done for clients so far when we're doing this is actually we were able to connect their booking meeting link that is from HubSpot to connect with Vidyard native integration. And we were able to kind of do it this way. We're doing it for us and for clients. And I think the other thing also, when you mentioned that we can build personalized tabled pages per sales rep. So I'm just kind of putting my manufacturing hat on or wholesale distribution hat. We can customize the menu so that it doesn't be exactly like the main web page menu, because sometimes maybe that can confuse the prospect and it can lose the message. So we can reduce maybe the menu options to exactly where you want the prospect to go next. So you can really kind of influence the buyer journey to hopefully reduce the sales process, especially for B2B organizations where we all know they have a longer sales process and we can help them with that.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Thank you.
And that's a really good use case too, because in some organizations, what happens is you have a team of, let's say, BDRs who are trying to book meetings, but then you'll have a team that's, let's say, cross-selling or upselling, right? They might want to have different calls to action. So within our platform, you can actually create that and set it up fundamentally so it's frictionless for the sales rep, so you can start using it and you can help build their strategy.
Awesome. And then just for the audience again here, because I know some were dialing in late, what we're showing here is an engine called Vidyard. So if you already are a HubSpot customer, this is kind of an add-on component with this kind of advanced function. The Flawless Inbound team can bring this Vidyard license, plug it to your HubSpot platform, especially in your CRM or in your marketing automation, and then the native integration will happen. Ali, can I ask you for a favor? Can you go back to your email? Just go back to the email that you're showing the audience right now. So if you guys can see this kind of orange bottom send, this is all native HubSpot integration, which means when you send the email from your Outlook, from your Gmail account, that is sucked completely in the HubSpot CRM platform. But the beauty, Ali, of what I'm seeing here, that the video that you're sending, it's not an attached video. So this is not a heavy file that maybe firewalls will block it. It's simply a URL that can be monitored by Vidyard and by HubSpot so that I can run reporting around as well to see the performance and the open and click-through rates. Is that correct? That's
absolutely correct. I mean, this gets past like 99% of firewalls because it's just a link. It's like sending somebody a link to your website. Now, one really important thing that you'd mentioned here is understanding buying intent and understanding at a contact record level who's watching these. I mean, if you're able to, let's say, go a whole month using video and you've sent out 200 videos from your sales team, and let's say you want to run a report within HubSpot with the integration, anyone who's watched over 80% of videos, we're going to run a report. those are people who have actually understood the message. We want to take them down a certain flow or a campaign. We can start being very, very smart in terms of engagement and lead scoring. So that's a really good point. Absolutely. So that's pretty much the gist of the creation. It becomes very simple, and you build the habit. And then for me, I'll give you guys a quick story. When I first started at Vidyard, I was horrendous at sending videos. We'll get into some of the things that make you a good video creator, and really taps into like authenticity, being yourself, and just knowing what you're talking about. So I think we'll go back to the slideshow. If we have more questions near the end about the tool recording itself, I'll be happy to jump into that.
Just want to jump in and say, Ali, you know, the best strategy we've learned with video prospecting is step one, be attractive. Step two, don't be unattractive. And it seems to work really well. So you know, give your sales team a makeover is what we're trying to say.
I'm surprised you heard me, Max. I don't know what happened there.
Awesome. I'll give it back to you, and just let me know when you want me to move on with the navigation here.
Yeah, you're good to skip there, Max. So what we're going to talk a little bit now is just kind of best practices and maybe the ways you can use Vidyard in depth. So understanding that it's supposed to be not a one-off thing, but more so a strategy. So creating a template and a script that's repeatable is ideal. So you think yourself as a sales manager, and okay, I have a team of 5 people that I want to be able to capitalize on this. Well, you got to start thinking about your KPIs, you know, or your training or your enablement. How are we going to ensure that these videos make sense to our buyers? How are we going to be able to put these in sequencing in HubSpot, or how are we supposed to create templates that include videos? So once you do find your sweet spot, it becomes a repeatable process, and you'll be able to track exactly how that's pertaining to some of your goals. And they are multi-dimensional as well. So if you want to go to the next slide there. So like we had mentioned, the webcam selfie video, it's good for delivering a message similar to your email, and kind of like a voicemail script in a sense where you're going to give them everything you need, but they might be sitting in bed 2 days later and find your video and watch it. So, you know, always, and this little template here is a little bit of a sneak peek of something that Flawless Inbound could probably teach you, but it's creating a solid video script. So starting from your introduction, how you say it, you know, make sure that they know who you are in your company, your value prop, your purpose of why you made them a video, your next steps in CTA, and then a thank you. So being able to build something out like this becomes incredibly valuable. So next one, the LinkedIn profile hover. So typically you're using screen recording, obviously through the desktop app or through the Google Chrome extension, but here is a quick little template and just a snippet of what you could say in one of your videos. Hi, you see from your LinkedIn profile that you're responsible for ABC. I'm reaching out because I'm working with several other people in your role who are having a hard time with ABC. If you're having a similar challenge, can I send you another video to show you how I'm helping? Really good intro video, but to be honest with you, my favorite one and what I've been doing is before I even reach out to someone via email, I connect with them on LinkedIn and said, I made you a video. If you connect with me, I'll send you the video I made you. Now you're giving them an upfront contract. They say, well, great. That sounds good. Like, yeah, you made me a video. And that's when you send your actual video with your service offering. Next slide. And you got the website hover, really good to get on somebody's website. I mean, so in terms of manufacturing, me and Sahir were even talking about this, and maybe even being able to go over somebody's product page to see where there's gaps in products. Hey, we notice you don't have too many of this product. You know, typically what we see is with our, you know, with companies we work with, they have a widespread for these reasons. It can be a really good way to show people an exact example from their own case to really ensure that you're spotlighting a real life example and something that actually has to do with their business.
And Ali, I just want to add to that, because I know, again, like we work with a lot of manufacturing before, other essential, wholesale distribution, manufacturing who sell through partners, or distribution, or manufacturing who sell directly to end user. And so, for example, sometimes we build for clients like full websites, and there is membership section for the website. So you can actually create a Hoover explanatory video of what you can do if one of your distribution channel logged into your website, and you can actually have a video explaining where to go and how to do things. That can be, I think, one of the things that go there. Let's say sometimes for manufacturing, or especially for wholesale distribution, they are carrying 20 different vendors. So maybe they have promotion for the vendor of the month or a few vendors of the month. So they can actually start kind of showcasing some of that, and they can go and outreach to other vendors to showcase what they can do for those new vendors to bring them to their kind of book of business as well. So we can see a lot of potential actually with this video engine platform, especially for manufacturing and wholesale distribution. Same case study comes in with construction companies as well, or people who are kind of building single family homes. You can actually do a virtual show home using the Vidyard engine as a realtor, and you can actually email that to people who wants to do a walkthrough to your home, especially now during COVID. Maybe face to face is challenging, so that actually can really help from that perspective as well. There's a lot of applications here that I see while you're presenting this.
Yeah, and we have a mobile app as well. So you're a realtor, you jump into the house, you do a quick video with you being able to describe everything you would in person, and right from your phone being able to email that, but have it all tracked in your in your business structure. So in your HubSpot and everything, it ties everything together while you're on the go. That's a really good example. And maybe we'll go to the next slide here, because you bring up the idea of using a customer story or testimonial, or using a success story. That's a great example. I mean, some people will go out and they'll spend thousands of dollars to create these really polished testimonial videos, which are awesome. And a lot of companies already have them. Now, what else you could do is, if you want to get a little scrappy with it, let's say, for instance, you want to start testing out if that even works with your customers, make a 2-slide PowerPoint presentation about one of your customers you just sold to and how happy they are. Maybe get them to do a quick quote in there. Go over it with the video recording tool, spend 1 minute to 2 minutes. Now you can use that customer testimonial for all your customers or all your prospects. Very, very effective and cheap way of being able to do that. So I love that example. The customer story is huge.
And Ali, can I say one more thing? I can see this a lot with software companies, technology and SaaS companies, right? Because usually for SaaS, software as a service companies, they have this kind of free demo, right? Or free for 14 days or free for a month kind of offers. So I can see now that we can go in and deploy the Vidyard engine so that they, even while they're showing testimonials, they're actually doing a demo instead of booking the time, customer time for half an hour. They can do a demo in 2 minutes with the key 2 or 3 features that they know usually prospect will say, yes, I want to see more. And then from there, then they can really book the full demo, and then they can go start their sales process beyond that. So that's kind of one of the things that I think can be very valuable, especially for technology and software as a service company as well.
It's a perfect preamble to the next slide, Max. It's there's also this idea of like a show and tell or a teaser. So like being able to showcase, let's say for instance, their product. Like for instance, if I was going to showcase Vidyard, I'll showcase it a little bit, give you a little teaser. Someone goes, oh, that looks pretty cool. Next thing you know, you're bringing them into your sales cycle. So that's also a really great, don't show everything, but give them a glimpse of what you have to offer. You go to the next slide, Max. This one, we discussed really quickly about the decision maker ideology, where you need to reach as many people as possible so they can make a quick decision. For you to be able to understand the buying intent, which we didn't necessarily go over just yet, but anytime somebody watches your video in real time, you get a message in your email that says, this person that you sent this email to watched this percentage of the video. So if I understand there's 3 decision makers, we finish our meeting, I do a quick recap and I send it to them, and they say they're going to send it to the other decision makers. I know. So I know how to follow up accordingly. Well, it looks like I got 3 views, so everyone watched it. Well, it only 1 view, so maybe there's something that's a little bit of a bottleneck in the sales cycle. So you'll be able to tell buying intent and deal velocity.
And Ali, can I add to that? Sometimes for clients who want to expand in Canada or expand in the US, or vice versa from the US expanding in Canada, we use a strategy called ABM, account-based marketing. Now, why I'm mentioning this? Because you were saying before that there might be a multi-decision maker. And so we can know exactly which persona, what job role that we're kind of looking at the video before going into the meeting. And then we can start doing some lead scoring to then run a report to say, you know what, it seems company ABC is really interested to speak to, let's say, Flawless and Bound, because I can see their VP of sales, their VP of marketing, and their CEO. Each one of them have been watching 2 or 3 or 4 videos. So then back to lead scoring and the buyer journey in a multi-channel, we can actually kind of condense all of that in a report and show it to the marketing or the sales team when we're doing that. So definitely a lot of value there as well.
Love that.
Yes, sorry, Ali, I just want to jump in too on what Seher was saying. What it works great too, in addition to lead scoring, is also building up your net promoter score, right? So especially in a post-meeting use case, you can use Vidyard to do a video of yourself reaching out to a current customer that you've done, you've implemented a product or a solution for, and say, hey, hey, Mr. Customer, thank you very much for working with Flawless Inbound. We're trying to build up our Google reviews. We are sending out a survey. We want to build up our reputation on this platform and get a 5-star review from you. And put a CTA in place saying, could you please click this link and give us that 5-star review, or give us your honest feedback? This is very important for us. Obviously, everyone knows one of the most important statistics to track as a business in 2021 is your net promoter score. How likely is a organization to do business with you again, or refer other business to you? Other way too, beyond net promoter score, what if you have a referral program, right? Ask for referrals. Say, hey, just so you know, there's a $50 gift card for any customer that you send our way, right? Click here to send us a lead, right? Sends them to a HubSpot form. You connect those dots, right? That lead that they submit now appears in your CRM. A salesperson can follow up with that, close the business, and you also get that referral bonus to whoever referred that to you.
I love that. That's a cool use case. I haven't, this is the first time I've been at Vidyard for quite some time. First time that I've heard about trying to increase your NPS score. That's a really cool use case. I love that. One more thing too, before we jump to the next slide, because we're kind of coming to the end on these use cases, is frequently asked questions. How many times have you been asked the same question by the same or different customers, and you have to type in that email again and again and again and again? If you create one video and it's visual and you go over whatever you need to, and you can just have that nested in a folder, anytime you get that pesky question again, it's as simple as a couple of clicks. Here you go, here's the answer, and your client's happy. They get the answer, they get it quick, and it didn't take too much time out of your day. So efficiency is big too with video.
Ali, I love what you're saying. Back to, because I'm trying to connect the dots here. So I know like almost all our clients are having the HubSpot license already. And I can see that this is an add-on license that can be added for Vidyard, but especially with kind of do-it-yourself, or reducing the amount of tickets for people to come in and open a ticket with you because maybe product and platform is not working fine. So on the HubSpot side, they have something called the Services Hub, where we can build the knowledge center. But what I'm hearing from you is that now we can use the Vidyard engine so that the knowledge center can all be built on video and video explanation. That's much better than kind of writing longer, complex, spreadsheets or kind of, big documents that maybe teams don't have time to read. So as an explanatory video that can be plugged into the HubSpot Knowledge Center in the Services Hub using the Vidyard engine, I think that can add a lot of value. And we can even measure from the Vidyard statistics reporting and from HubSpot, are our clients really using those videos or not? How can I enhance? And would that affect the reduced number of calls that I'm getting incoming each day because I have a problem in my product or I have a problem in my service? And this can easily be measured actually as a solid ROI, return on investment, when you invest in a platform like Vidyard, beside, of course, reducing sales cycle, beside the ability to do outreach, especially in kind of the new world that we live in, which is virtual selling as well. So I can see a lot of case studies as you're presenting that really makes sense to, especially for B2B organizations. So
another really cool manufacturing use case is a company that did exactly what you're saying, Sahir, where it's, let's create this hub of all of our products. Now, anytime somebody wants to come to this knowledge base to learn about the product, they learn about it. There's a 1-minute concise video, teaches you everything. The call to action is to purchase or to learn more. Learn more takes them to a spec sheet. Purchase takes them to a salesperson. So they're actually not only teaching and reducing support tickets, but they're actually cross-selling and upselling on its own. And beautiful. Based on the amount of people coming to the traffic coming to that hub, it's proven to be very successful. So that's a really cool use case as well. Beautiful. It's all encompassing. We're touching base on everything today. I love it. So Max, we'll go to the next slide here. This is just best practices for video selling. Like I mentioned, when I first started at Vidyard, I found it difficult. And some people are just superstars naturally. Some people like me hate seeing their own face and hearing their voice. That's okay. It takes a little bit of time. You build your muscle and you get the right people to help you do it, and you're good. So just to give you the 4 steps to being best practices to keep in mind when you're using a tool like this, to be prepared. So just know who you're reaching out to, know what your message is, and create an engaging thumbnail. So personalization, or over the LinkedIn, like we mentioned. Be authentic. I stutter sometimes. Sometimes I mess up my words. I don't stop. I keep going because I'm a human and there's margin for human error, especially in front of the camera. Keep it short and sweet. No one wants to watch a motion picture. They want everything, within 1 minute or less and done. So keep it short and sweet. Let your personality shine. If you don't have one, it's okay. You could probably buy one. Who knows? And then add the finishing touches. So having a solid email template, again, through HubSpot, whether it's a sequence or what it is, have a good call to action that's engaging. Ensure it's branded. You don't want this to be something that they're wondering where it's coming from. You want to make sure they know where they're getting it from. Determine the next steps, track who's watching, and then schedule meetings. So that's the fundamentals for video selling. So in the next couple of slides, we're going to go over a couple of off use cases of Vidyard because, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's an all-encompassing tool. So we unlock the power of video for sales, but when you become a sales client, you also become a marketing client. You also become with other types of capabilities. So not only are you being able to send these videos and send them out, but you're also actually able to host videos on your website using Vidyard. So they use the "it's your tube, not theirs." It's a little bit of a jab at YouTube just because of the fact that when you're on YouTube, or let's say a player that's on your site that's hosted on YouTube, they are so good at bringing you from your website to YouTube to watch all these cat videos and all this other stuff. So what we want to do is, if you change it into a Vidyard player, you're going to have the opportunity to understand who's watching your videos, what parts of the video they're rewatching, and basically create a story, all while controlling the buyer's journey. So creating calls to actions, making sure that people have like different routes that they can go. Like I had mentioned before, one of the manufacturing companies, CTDI, they had someone going to a spec sheet, someone going to a salesperson. You can do that with all your videos. And then making sure that these are customizable, brandable, and tracking. So just want to touch one more thing on this. HubSpot. Think about marketing automation. If I have 20,000 people visiting my website a day, or let's just say that's a great website, but let's say we understand that 100 people are watching my video. If 100 people are visiting and 100 of those people are watching 80%, you want to activate a workflow in HubSpot that says everyone who's watching this much of our 4-minute demo video is now getting actioned. And on the other end of the spectrum, people are watching 20%. We want to put them in a nurture cadence because they're probably not ready to make a purchasing decision. So it becomes very, very technical. So we'll go into the next slide, Max. And I want to touch base on video hubs. This is an amazing topic, and we're gonna let the team at Flawless kind of dive into this afterwards. But video hubs are a place for you to showcase the best of your video content, and it's basically creating this organized, branded, and distraction-free place to share your videos. It's good for internal or external. You can have it all secure if you want it to just be just for people internally. But like I mentioned before, in manufacturing, CTDI, they created this external hub where they had all their products, all their videos. So it was good for cross-selling and upselling. Now you can manually create these, and it's hosted by your website, but everything is tracked. That's what's important, and attaches to HubSpot. So if you can go into that next slide, very familiar website, I think. Yeah, that's pretty familiar. Flawless Inbound, great example. They have one of the best hubs I've seen so far. The way that they're starting to section it off and work it is incredible, including the Breakthrough Club interviews. So that's a podcast. People coming to learn all this stuff. As you can tell right at the top, they have the opportunity to actually start learning more about Flawless Inbound while they're educating themselves, which is incredible. Now, the second picture here in the next slide.
Just want to, before we get there, Ali, I just do want to bring everyone's attention to, obviously this is our website here, but if you're enjoying this workshop and want to learn more about Vidyard, we actually have a video right here of one of our panelists, Sahar, interviewing the CEO of Vidyard and learning all about the organization, where it started from and how it's evolved over the years, and how Vidyard is positioning itself for the B2B industry.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times. It was great.
Yeah, it's nominated for Best Picture this year because there's not there weren't a lot of films in theaters. Yeah.
So just the last component here, which we're going to get into a live demonstration, but this is kind of what the experience could look like. Where you click it, it's all branded, it's all yours, and you can watch related videos and start getting really engaged in terms of educating yourself. So without me speaking too much, let's see this thing.
Sure thing. So I'm just going to take over control here. And I'm actually going to go to flawlessinbound.ca. Hopefully you guys have all been on that website. It's it's awesome. Up there with Google, with one of the most used sites. But where I'm at on our site navigation is we notice the URL here. So it is our domain, flawlessinbound.ca, but it's video.flawlessinbound.ca. This is the blanket layer that Vidyard provides. So there's no would a prospect or visitor, net new visitors on our webpage, they don't know that they're actually within the Vidyard engine. Everything from the site navigation, notice how our header is always the same, but where they are is just right here, video resources. And in the hub itself, we can actually organize things how we want. So we have the Breakthrough Club interviews you saw on the previous slide. We have thumbnails and also a little description on when it was uploaded, what the topic is, those sorts of things. We also have all of our historic webinars, right? So if you want to watch something over the years, you can go click on there. It's going to bring you to a page that looks like this, where you can read a little bit about it. You can email it to yourself, share it on social media if you'd like, and watch it. But there's something critical here about Vidyard I want everyone to understand. As we've said multiple times, Ali has touched on this many times, video is a very, very strong conversion tool. So we want to leverage that when someone's watching it. So after, and Seher, remind me, it's after a minute that I believe this happens. When someone clicks play and starts watching this video, we have set it up so that this call to action shows up and someone can fill out a form. And basically it gates the content for you. So instead of someone watching the whole video and there's no follow-up or anything, like a YouTube channel, for instance, now there's a conversion point. If you want to watch the rest of this content, you need to give us some information. And that serves two purposes. A, it could be a nurture point or a follow-up point, depending on how you structure your video marketing strategy. In that, if you want to, after half an hour, you realize, hey, that's someone's very qualified. They watched almost a whole Flawless Inbound webinar from February 2020. Wow, this is a hot lead. Or you set them in a nurture workflow. They get the rest of the video. They educate themselves. You can track that engagement, and then they are in your email list. They are in a drip campaign. However you want to, whatever works for your specific business for nurturing leads. That's the kind of action or sequence that we put them into. Also serves another purpose too. If you think about it, we have hours of video footage going over our playbooks, our content, what we do here at Flawless Inbound. But we don't want our competition seeing that, do we? So that CTA, or pardon me, that form that you see here, to see more of this content, fill out that form. That gates your competition from looking at your video assets like they could on your YouTube page, and copying it and basically doing verbatim, going to the exact same prospects that you're going to, giving them your story, telling them we can do exactly what Flawless Inbound can do, right? So it's a very important safeguard to have if video marketing is a strategy that your organization is utilizing right now.
And Max, I just want to say, I think it should not be if, I think it should be when. When video marketing is one of the core strategies that can enable your sales team, who are now, we know, might be struggling to have this face-to-face meeting. And maybe when your marketing team now are exhausted by building traditional content, and they need now fresh new content that can really help the sales team reduce the sales cycle, we believe Vidyard can be the engine to do that. So I think this is a call out to all our audience and people who will be watching even this recording afterwards, because exactly as Max said, this video is now automatically, as we're speaking, being recorded and actually automatically going to the Vidyard hub. So in literally 24 hours, whoever is attending here today or whoever is listening to the recording, you're actually watching it on the Vidyard engine, our tube, not the YouTube, exactly as Ali said. And then while you're watching this video, you can see that there will be a CTA that our team will add in. This CTA, those forms are natively connected to your CRM, which is HubSpot in that case. Even the chatbot that Max is showing right now, that is HubSpot. So now this is where the two platforms can merge together to add even more value to your audience and the multi-touch points that they have there. One more thing I just want to mention, if you guys remember, Ali said, and when you're closing the video, you can have two call to action, book a demo or purchase. So now imagine if the new word is all about hybrid commerce and e-commerce. So video can be the final touch point before you send the prospect into the purchasing process, maybe through Oracle NetSuite or through Shopify or through other platforms as well. And hence why Flawless Inbound decided strategically to partner with those three critical vendors, strategic vendors for your growth: Vidyard, HubSpot, and Oracle NetSuite, because we can see that they play nice together. They understand where the future is going, and they truly build their platform to take the organization there. Max and Ali, back to you.
I was just going to add one thing in here, Max. This is the first time I've seen the chatbot inside of the video itself. That is super cool. I'm watching it, I'm learning, but I got a quick question. Boom, done. That's great. I love it.
It's awesome too, because I mean, obviously you can see, Ali, when I open it, we have scripts programmed about how guiding that prospect, asking questions on it, but we can actually escalate that to an appointment with an expert or to a live chat. I want to speak with a real person. That's also one of our prompts on our bots. So someone can actually go in and say, hey, can you talk me through about this topic in this video that I'm watching? How do I do that for my Vidyard hub? How do I do that for my HubSpot Sales Pro license? It's super engaging that way, having the bot pop up as someone's watching the video.
Love it.
So getting back to the presentation, I just want to check panelists, thumbs up. Can you see the PowerPoint again? Okay, great.
Yes.
So in closing, we have two offers for you. Ali has been really nice to do this. So firstly, everyone wants to try before they buy. So Vidyard actually has some free tools for you to utilize. So if you are interested in trying out Vidyard for screen recording or some of the other free features that it offers, Ali, do you mind actually touching a bit on that about what are some of the free tools that we can offer those in the audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to touch base on both of these offers. Number one, trialing Vidyard is as simple as going to Google, typing in Vidyard free, and you have access to that tool, that very tool that I just showed you guys how to use, which is incredible. The first few videos, send it to your favorite clients saying, hey, just want to tell you that this is, we appreciate doing business with you. Take a look at what type of responses you get just from that. So get yourself on there, get your team on there. I highly recommend that if you do end up getting your entire team, and this is more of a foundational structure you want to build, to reach out to Sahir, because he can show you maybe some of the fundamentals. He could bring me on even to show you how you guys can get set up. And then secondarily, and by the way, also you can download the Google Chrome extension, the desktop application, or even the app integrations inside of Gmail or Outlook. So there's multiple ways you can find it and use it, whatever's best for your business. Secondarily, the Vidyard sales video of your business. So over my time here at Vidyard, I've done tons of prospecting, and I've also reached out to businesses to show them how to utilize video for their own business. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a video video would be better, but send me the message, Ali, send me the flawless video or something along those lines. I will create a video. I'll go to your website. I'll do 2 minutes of research, and I'll send you a video as if I'm one of your salespeople reaching out to a prospect. It'll let you put it into perspective what it could look like, show you what the call to action looks like. It might be really engaging and something cool you could share with your company.
That's amazing, Ali. You're generous. You're very generous with your time there, and I'm hoping every single person who's in the audience and also receiving this recording by email in a couple of days takes advantage of that.
I do too. I do too.
Awesome. So just we're nearing the end here. This is one of our final slides that we like to talk about. Oftentimes we get asked about our engagement approach working with organizations, and we love our acronyms here at Flawless Inbound. So what we call here is the triple P: the people, process, the playbook. Now, is there a picture of a race car driver and his or her team? Well, we do this because we see the client as the driver of their own business, but they also need support, right? And our engagement strategy is that triple P, where we give the people a full digital team, flawless inbound employees working with you. Also, our strategic partnerships with Vidyard, aka Ali, is the one who's going to be helping you. Also HubSpot, also Oracle NetSuite. The other P, a playbook. So we have two distinct ones, but those stem out into some additional playbooks from there. But the two big ones are the digital transformation playbook and the 100-day launchpad. If you were part of the morning session about Oracle NetSuite, you know all about the 100-day launchpad already because we covered it in detail. If not, check out that session when you have a chance. And of course, the platform, we were strategic on who we work with, who we picked, because all those platforms of NetSuite, HubSpot, Vidyard all play together very well, and they all do. Again, there's no technology out there that can do the entire end-to-end operation. There are certain experts in fields when it comes to video marketing and video sales. It's Vidyard 100%. It's not YouTube. When we're talking marketing automation, sales enablement, HubSpot, one of the Gartner quadrant leaders. And of course, for any of your ERP backend operations, we're talking the first cloud-based ERP in the world, NetSuite, which of course now owned by its huge parent company, Oracle. Getting into the team just a bit more, any program or project where someone brings on Flawless Inbound, this is the full team that supports you. And this is the team for a Vidyard project where you'd have account manager, you'd have a content writer, a digital transformation technologist, a website designer and graphic developer, a client director and a growth strategist, all these people playing different parts, all subject matter experts, helping your organization's unique digital transformation. If you enjoyed this session and you want to attend future ones, learn more about Flawless Inbound, the best place to do that, other than our own website, is our LinkedIn page. We are posting on there almost every single day, everything from thought leadership articles to invitations to workshops like this one. We have 2 a month. As well as what's going on at our organization and what's going on with our partners too, like Vidyard. So Seher, myself, and Ali, we're all very active as well. So if you want to follow connect with us on our personal profiles or get that personalized video from Ali, there's all our information there. And just a bit of information about us before closing. So we talked about this at the very beginning, but we are the highest rated Canadian Diamond HubSpot partner. It's an accolade we're extremely proud of. We are very fortunate to be a part of a lot of organizations in Canada and the United States, one being Vistage, the CEO Manufacturing Peer Group, BC Tech, and also Mars Discovery District in Ontario. I should say we, Seher, published a book, The Marketing Manager Journey to the Summit. We do have free e-copies of that. So if you do want a copy, just get in touch with me, Maxim at flawlessinbound.ca. I'll be happy to send you the link so so you can have a copy about digital marketing best practices in the Canadian B2B market. We are also a HubSpot advisory member, one of 20 partners of 2,500 worldwide, another accolade we're extremely proud of. And as you saw, we represent 3 technologies, and that got us awarded actually HubSpot's Advanced Implementation Certificate. We're one of 16 companies worldwide and the only Canadian company to hold that accolade, just because our team has so much expertise working with multiple platforms and connecting different technologies that are better at different things in together with HubSpot. And that's the end of our presentation. We always leave the floor open for any questions, so feel free to type in the Q&A or just put a message, and we can also take you off mute if you'd like to ask something to our panel live. Thank you for being an attentive audience today and for staying with us for the whole 60 minutes here.
Awesome. Thank you, Max, so much. Ali, thank you. Great presentation. I personally learned a lot from you guys today and looking forward for future sessions like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.